Introduce the amazing Dr. Lulu. Dr. Lulu is a queer Nigerian-born board-certified pediatrician, mom of a transgender young adult's daughter, three-time TEDx speaker, United States Air Force former lieutenant colonel and commander. Thank you for your service. Disabled veteran and certified parent life coach. Y'all, we're in the presence of a badass. Let's bring up Dr. Lulu.
Does that mean? Thank you, Alexis, for giving me a mic. I think you forgot that if you give me a mic, I will talk. Where's the audio?
Dr. Lulu, I heard what you said. I am you, you are me, we are so connected.
So that's Oprah. Just in case, that's Oprah. And that was almost a year, 2 days ago, September 13, 2022. I was vacationing in Greece, and she called me a Texan, and I was more worried about the fact that she called me a Texan. That was Oprah. So I'm Nigerian, unequivocally, loud, in your face, taking up space. Is what black women do, and that's why on LinkedIn, my pronouns are they, her, hers. And you have to pay black women. So my what is impact. A lot of people ask me, what's your why? I don't have a why, I have a what. I have a want. What am I doing? I'm making impact as much as possible. And so we're going to listen to me talk to y'all today. So my name is Dr. Lulu, aka the Momatrician. I'm a mom, I'm a pediatrician. And yes, I own both trademarks. That's what you do. When you make up a name and you like it, you trademark that sucker, because someone else is going to try to get it. So my talk today is about the fact that dreams do come true. Who are the parents in the room? If you're a parent, just raise up your hand. Oh, thank you, lots of parents here. So I'm a parent. I'm a mom of 3, mis 3 hijos. So the parents who are here, how many of y'all think the parents are the most important person in your child's life? Anyone? Wow. All the parents? No one thinks they're the... Okay. How many of y'all think your child is the most important person in your life? I get that all the time. And then I ask, how many influencers are in the room? Anyone who thinks you're an influencer? Okay. And so that's the part y'all got wrong. Because the parents are always the first influencer. So you're not the most important person in your child's life. I know you want to think that. And I wish I could give it to you. But you are forever the most influential person in your child's life. And if you think that your child is more important to you than you, that math is not mathing. You must always be the most important person in your life, and your child is the most important person in their life. But as a parent, you are the most influential. Say it after me. I'm a parent, and I'm the most influential person in my child's life. Come on now, y'all just ate. Can I have something? And I'm the most influential person in my child's life. So I'm not only a pediatrician, I'm also a U.S. Air Force former commander. So when I ask you to say it, okay? And yes, as pediatricians, we're always all up in y'all's faces. And you're always trying to be helicopter parents, right? And if you're black and Nigerian, like I am, then one day at the age of 16, you told your dad, who is a red cap chief, Igbo, Catholic, Knight of Columbus, that you like girls and boys. What do you think my dad said? Get out of here. I'll take that. What do you think my dad said? You're wrong. What's the most common thing that parents tell their kids when they say they're gay? Who said a phase? You get a car. You get a car. No. So my dad said it's a phase because that's what many parents think. Remember, you're the most influential person in your child's life. Okay? Today we're making a case for supporting parents. Isn't that crazy? Because some random governor somewhere thinks I'm a groomer, or I'm a child molester, or any combination of words that their kindergarten teachers make them repeat. But I'm not, right? I'm not a child groomer. I'm not a child molester. Let me tell you something. I do not want my child to be trans. Not in today's world, not in the world before now. No parent wants their child to be queer. However, when you've been dealt the cards, when your child is queer, I don't like cussing except on Sundays. You better fucking support your child. Okay? And so when my dad told me it's a phase, what do you think I did as a young 16-year-old, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, noisy chatterbox? What do you think I did when my dad told me it's a phase? What do you think I did?
Ran away.
No, not that fast. No. What do kids do when their parents tell them something categorically? What do the kids do?
Yeah.
They believe them, okay? Okay? Stop it, because you know you believe the parents. Otherwise, you wouldn't try the broccoli when your mom told you to try the broccoli. You believed her when she said it tasted like ice cream. That's what kids do. And so I believed my father. The definition of impact is a person or a thing with the capacity or power to have an effect on someone or something. That's what parents are to children. Influencers who have an impact. And so of course I believe my dad. And then 26 years later, I called my dad and said, yo, Dad, you know that phase? It's not phasing out. Okay, it's not, because it's true. So we're not going to go through my slides the way I put them together, because I know my story more than the slides do. But I wanted you all to see that when I was growing up, I was bullied in the school bus. So who was not bullied in school here? Who was not bullied? One. Yeah. So we were all bullied, right? That's childhood trauma in pediatrics. But then I went to boarding school. Who went to boarding school here? Okay. Anyone know any Nigerians here? So if you know a Nigerian, you know someone who went to boarding school. So I went to boarding school. And so my boarding school was an all-girls high school. So I like girls, right? And I'm in boarding school with all these girls. So it's like a buffet, big time. But then I can't really eat because I'm Catholic. My dad said it's a phase. So the whole time I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want to go to hell, because that's what they tell you. And I can't do enough 3 Hail Marys and 2 Our Fathers and 1 Glory be to the Father for forgiveness for the sin of liking girls. And so I graduated from high school, and then I went to medical school, finished medical school at the top of my class, I think. And then I came to America, which I spell with 3 Ks. Because I don't know how else to spell America, okay? 3 Ks. I came to Howard University Hospital, HU. Who else went to Howard? That is white. Who went to Howard? Who knows anybody who went to Howard? Kamala Harris and Dr. Lulu. Yeah, okay, that's it. Okay. So I went to Howard, and then I met my ex-husband. I had my first child. Now let me tell you something about Nigeria. When you have the first child that is a son, it's a sacred thing. Every married couple in Nigeria wants to have the first child as a son. It's a whole Mandingo warrior thing. It shows that your loins are working and you have the gift of giving a boy child, you know? So I had this boy. But before I had the baby, we went on a cruise to New Orleans. And I didn't find out what I was having, but I did ask the lady who was reading the cards what she thought I was having. So I picked the card, and it was a prince. And she said, "You're gonna have a boy, but it's a very beautiful child with a very feminine energy." So when she said, "You're gonna have a boy," my ex was like, "Yes!" With a very feminine energy. This lady doesn't know what she's talking about, so my ex-husband said, because we can have a boy with a very feminine energy. So I have my first child, I'm breastfeeding, like every good mother, right? And then the child starts growing. I'm a little too feminine. And so I'm like, wait, maybe that lady on the boat cruise in New Orleans was right. This child is a little too feminine. And so I used to say to the child the entire time, "Stop acting like a girl." And so my aunt said, "Mom, what? I said, "The way you're acting, that's how girls act. You're not a girl." Let me tell you, my ex-husband put him in karate, in soccer, kids boxing, everything to make the kid more masculine, because this is his first child, this man-child, Mandingo warrior. It wasn't working out, unfortunately. And my poor ex-husband, he did everything he could, prayed some more rosaries, nothing. So that first box there says 2-time divorcee, because I am one of the people that you ever meet who has an ex-husband and an ex-wife. How many other people in the room have an ex-husband? Yeah, I'm usually the only one that most people know, for real. Love my ex-wife to pieces. Anyone else in the room who has an ex-husband and an ex-wife? Y'all need more fun in your life. And so yes, I'm young, free, and single. And yes, thanks to my ex-husband, I survived bankruptcy. And if you don't know, childhood trauma, which is otherwise known as ACEs, or adverse childhood experiences, which I think anyone who was bullied has some childhood trauma. If your dad told you your sexuality was a phase, you had some childhood trauma. If everybody wanted you to marry a man because you had to do this, that's how you can get into heaven, that is trauma. When you have a child that is a bit too feminine and people are now looking at you like, what did you do? How did you make this kid gay? That is trauma. And so you can see suicidal ideation, there's a trigger warning, and fibromyalgia. So when you repress trauma, it has to find a way to manifest itself. And so yes, I don't look like I have chronic pain. I don't look like I have 100% disability, because that's not my potion, right? We're gonna rock it. We're not gonna look like the diagnosis, that's the doctor. And so that's that first box. The second box, and then the third box. That's the fun part of my story. My kid was assigned male at birth. And went to Stanford, because you know I did that, right? Full scholarship, because you know I did that, right? People used to say, so what does your kid play? I said, classical piano? Yeah. Like, what did you expect? Oh, I see, because it's male presenting and it's black, he has to play basketball? He played classical piano, y'all. So, at the graduation from Stanford, the guy that was making the announcement kept saying, they this and they that, because my kid was getting the award of excellence from the College of Arts, because we know we did that. They this and they that. And I'm like, dude, I thought you were the only one getting the award. Who are all these people? And then my middle kid was like, Mom, I think it's because X is non-binary. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I told you I like cuss on Sundays. And I asked my ex-wife, I said, what's non-binary? She's like, I don't know, that's your kid. I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like, wait, hold up. God, like, look, I know I said, please don't let the kid be gay. What is this non-binary stuff? Like, if you're joking, stop it. And God looked down and I said, and so I'm like, okay, listen, stop at the non-binary, let's figure out what it is. And so the whole time I'm like, what's non-binary, what's not non-binary? And then on Christmas morning, I'm standing in the kitchen trying to make my curds and whey, and the phone rings, and it's my kid. I'm like, hi, hey honey, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Mom, I'm trans. Trans what? What are you transferring again? I thought you just... So let me tell you, you don't want to be black, Nigerian, immigrant, single mom, pediatrician, living in Texas, and hear that diagnosis, because that's what it's like to me, my physician brain. You don't want that, because the entire time, I'm asking myself, what will my mom say? What will my dad say? What would the Pope say? Parents do not want their kids to be trans. I'm here to tell you that, just in case you missed it. And my unique intersectionality means no way. It's a death sentence for my child to be black trans woman. When my kids were younger, one of the things that we say in Igbo land, when the kid is leaving the house is, make sure you come back. We say that in Igbo, meaning may the ancestors bring you home. And so I always tell my kids who were black boys, right? Make sure you come back. And one day my baby said, Mom, why do you always ask us to come back? What do you think I told him? Try. Exactly. Exactly. Because Trayvon Martin went to the corner store. Because Sandra Bland was just driving. Because Breonna Taylor. Because Tamir Rice. And on and on and on. So when I ask my child to please come back, how many people in this room have ever experienced that? Raise your hand and be honest. That feeling when every single time your kid leaves the house, what color skin hands up? It's a real issue, people. So I stand here. Yes, I know I look good, honey, okay? Because I gotta represent. But what goes on in my heart, you don't want. You don't want to be the mother of a black trans woman. There's a whole hashtag, live past 35. You know that hashtag, my sis? Yeah. Well, who knows what that hashtag means? Not you. Not you. You want the hashtag.
That's the average age.
Let's see, come on. I remember you, by the way. So that is the average age that most black trans women do not live past. When they ask you to vote, they're not joking. When they ask you to stand up and take up arms, we're not joking. No parent wants to bury their child. In Igbo land, we call it Aro. Yeah, I do speak 9 languages, so I break out into one language anytime. Aro means a deadly, grievous sin, or such a bad thing, is an abomination. We do not want to bury our kids ever. But as a Black mother, when my son says to me, "Mom, I'm trans," that brought me to my knees. And I was in fetal position for 3 weeks thinking about what's going to happen to my kid. It is not an easy sentence, people. And somebody wants to tell me that I'm a child molester. I have words for you. Fuck you and twice on Sundays. My kid might literally not come home. And you're telling me, you think I want this? I need y'all to vote that sucker out of here. Do something. The only reason a person like, I don't know his first name, but I don't know, whatever his name is, the only reason someone like that can remain in office past one day is because y'all are complacent. You're not voting. You don't know what it's like for a mother to bury her child. You don't know what it's like for a mother to see another mother bury their child. It brings you to you die inside. A piece of you dies inside. And then my kid is a trans woman, and you think it's a fun thing? I quit medicine because of this. I said, fuck you, medicine. I'm not going to write one more prescription of penicillin if there's a kid whose parent does not recognize that they are the most influential person in their child's life. When my kid told me, I managed to muster the words, thank you. I don't know where they came from. Do you know what my child said to me? I don't know which of these slides. My kid said, Mom, our house was so transphobic. Our house was so transphobic when I was growing up. This is the queer mom, me, married to my ex-wife. Yet our house was so transphobic that I found out my child's gender at the graduation at Stanford at 20. So today at 25 years old, I want so much to just take back the hands of time, just roll them back, so I could have been the mother that the kid needed. I was too busy wondering what was going to happen. What is my dad going to say? What's my mother going to say? Fuck him. Fuck him. Do you know what? My dad today is like, what are you doing with that boy? What are you doing with that boy? That boy, stop telling him that he's not a boy. I said, Daddy, please. I'm 55 at my next birthday. If I don't know something now, I'm a fool forever. The kid needs their mother. My ex-husband died in June, on June 7th, 2023, without reconciling with that kid. It's a heavy burden. What I'm asking y'all to do today, I'm making a case for supporting parents of trans kids, parents of queer kids. It's not an easy diagnosis. Enough of us don't know what we're doing. Even queer people, you're not praying for your child to be queer. I'm going to ask 3 people in the room randomly, what was the first words your mother said when you told them you were not straight? What's the first word?
She cried.
Good. 1. I'm looking for the one that I said, oh yay, my kid is. What did your mom say? I'm just profiling you. I don't even know your.
She said, I always knew when I love you.
Oh, wow.
give my keynotes, the first thing I usually write a quote. That's one quote says, "You have everything going for you. Now this." And the other quote says, "You have everything going against you. This is just one more thing against you. You have everything going against you. This is just one more thing against you. You have everything going for you. Now this," you see the difference? I didn't have to go further than just here to see the reaction of a black parent. Again, I use the word diagnosis loosely because I'm a physician and it's a word and I can use it. You don't have to give too much power to stuff that don't need to be. I didn't need to go any past here. The reaction. The studies have shown that 58% of LGBT plus community are actually bisexual. And usually when I roll up into the room, most people clock me as straight passing. When I open my mouth, why do you want to be part of that community is what they ask me. Why do I want to be part of that community? I think I chose that. I'll have some game with a side of fries. Really? In today's world? I think not. I'm just gonna take a chance. Is you gay or is you not gay? I'm just taking a chance. Because I'm asking the same question. What did your parents say?
I've never had to have that conversation. I'm asexual. I have better sex with myself than anyone else.
Amen. What do you think your mother let's just go there. Let's have a conversation. What do you think your mom would say if you told her you are ace?
My mother is very different, so it's very hard to say. My parents were very involved in our lives. So it wasn't who we turned out to be, it's who they stretched us to become.
Right there, love it, love it. And that is classic parents. We want to raise the kids to become who we want them to be.
I said stretched us to who we are to become.
To become, exactly, use the word become, thank you. And that is normal. Every parent wants their child to be this and be that and be the other. Until you tell them who you really are, they're like, wait, you're not. What do you mean you're gay? Like, you need, why are you doing this to me? Right? Why are you doing this to me? Yeah? Of all the things you can be, why are you choosing that lifestyle, right? These are the things. What are the other misconceptions out there? It's a phase, it's a choice, it's a lifestyle, what else? Are you sure? Who said are you sure? That is so true. Are you sure? And then we have this. One of my friends, my doctor friends, I had a 15-year-old patient, then I had a 7-year-old patient, and one of my friend's kids. And I was like, you know what? I cannot stay in the doctor's office writing prescriptions when kids are killing themselves. We gotta go figure it out. We gotta go figure it out. What's going on? Enter advocacy. Like I said, you don't want to give me a mic. So that's me at the Capitol, cursing out one person. That's Austin Capitol. And I'm cursing out someone. And I know one of these days I'm going to get arrested, but you know what? It's called good trouble. So take me with you. Take me to your leader. One of the things that I love to do is talk to people about the truth about being a parent of a queer child. Most parents of queer kids love their children. I wouldn't find, maybe, should I say all parents of queer kids? What do you think? That's why I said most. Words matter. I see you, sis. Most parents of queer kids love their kids. Enough of us don't understand. No comprendemos. Is that correct? Yes? No comprendemos? Pero, what we've done is, because we don't understand, we put the pressure on the child. Who whispered child? Well, that's a psychiatrist. On the child we put it on the child to explain it to us. But you know what's wrong with that? How many 4-year-olds understand that they're trans? When the whole time I'm wearing you pink dresses, and putting little things on your hair and telling you you're a girl, you're like, wait, am I a girl? Okay, I mean, am I a girl? What am I, right? But the whole time the parent is telling the child, this is the gender that I assigned to you based on your genitals and that's it, right? You're nothing else but what I'm telling you that you are. And then the child is like, but I don't feel like this. And I'm like, well, explain it to me. What do you mean, right? You really think the kid has the words at 4? Or 3? At what age do we know our gender? What age do we become aware of our gender identity? Who wants to take a guess?
3.
Y'all look smart.
7. 3. 7. 5. 2. 7.
Who said 2? Have you heard me speak before? Pero es verdad, see? It's very true. Es verdad. So the truth about it is actually gender identity begins as early as when the baby is born. Because what we do is we give them a blue t-shirt, the onesie, some give them a football. We start already forcing these things, okay? However, the identification and the awareness is about 18 months to 2 years old, so you're right. And so if you ask a cis girl, I use girls because they're the smarter, whether you like it or not. If you ask a cis girl at 2, you say, I'm a girl at 2. That's all they know because it's also partially the way you're raising them, right? So gender is a combination of what you are on the inside and what the outside is telling you that you are. Back to what my friend said over there. That's how the whole gender identity and expression began. No, I don't want to do that because my mommy said. No, I don't want to do that because daddy said. And then when you have that fight and that push and pull in your mind and you're so stressed out, you cut. Because there's so much pressure. You experiment with the first cut the first day. Trigger warning, people. I'm a physician. I have to talk about these things because we cannot keep it. Secrets kill people. So you cut the first one. And then cut again. And then before you know it, it goes on and on. And then the parent says to you, it's because you're gay. Like, you see, you hear what I'm saying? Like you're already conflicted anyway, and then your parent tries to rationalize by telling you it's because you are. That's why you're conflicted. Not because of everything I'm telling you and what the church is telling you. That's why when I saw my friend today, I was like, nice to see you, right? Because my ex-husband is an Episcopalian, but I never, ever heard him say one pro-LGBT word out of his mouth. So the Nigerian Episcopalians, they missed that part. And we talked about the fact that for some reason, Africans who had this religion, Abrahamic religion, imposed on us and told ours is no good. Here, we'll take your kids and then we'll give you our religion. Read the Bible, we'll be right back. Kids, over here, you're all these slaves. You're stupid, you don't know anything. Take out the chapters from the Bible that says something about rebellion and give it to them so that they don't know. Oh, by the way, you benefited from slavery. Yeah, because you didn't have any skills. You know the pyramids that are built in Africa, the pyramids in Egypt, ever before technology? We don't know how you built them. Because we're the smart ones. Really? So I agitate. That's what I do, that word. I agitate the governors of Texas and Florida. I just got back from Orlando. Somebody needs to do it. Might as well be me, because I'm a pediatrician and I know a thing or two about child abuse. And a parent who loves their child, not abusive in my textbook or in any textbook out there. here's the problem. Here's why I'm making a case for supporting parents. Oh, those are all the things I do. I'm a busy girl. No. But here's why I'm making a case for supporting parents. Because a few weeks ago, my youngest brother thought it was funny to post in our family WhatsApp. Who knows what WhatsApp is? And he read, what if Mike Tyson decided to compete in a women's football, boxing tournament? My baby brother thought it was funny. Who knows what I did with the family chat? But that's a good one. That's a good one. Who else? What do you think I said?
Left the chat?
I like the chat, man. High five. Yes. Yes. Because if you want to make a statement, you make an exit. And then my dad is like, wait, what's going on? I said, no. Because you're an accomplice. You didn't say anything to counter that. Your grandchild is trans, whether you like it or not. No, let's have this conversation again. But the point I'm trying to make is I left the chat. And then for about a week or so, I was crying. Because I realized that as a single employed person, I'm self-employed is what I meant. Well, I have 3 employees, me, myself, and I. Most times I just go out with me and myself because I be showing out. But she came along this time around. So we can't leave her, and this is TFA, you know? But the point I'm trying to make is, I realized that as a self-employed person, I had no Susan to talk to at work on Monday, or John, right? Or whoever, Karen, right? I had no one. It was just me, myself, and I. And then it occurred to me, if I'm going through this, there are other parents. And we need your support. And it's not quite the same thing as your ERG that is pro-queerness, if you know what I'm saying. Most parents of queer kids are not queer. They're straight. 80%, believe it or not, heterosexuals make non-heterosexuals. But I learned this new word called healthy sexuals. I don't know where I am. Healthy sexuals is a new word. So homo is banned, hetero is banned, healthy sexual. So heterosexuals actually make homosexuals. I mean, whether you like it or not. So most parents of queer kids are not queer by definition, unless of course they're deep in the closet. That's another day's conversation. Okay? But the point I'm trying to make is because most parents of queer kids are not queer, they truly don't know what they don't know. They don't understand what they don't understand. And so if they don't have the support at work, from the neighbors, from their friends, from their family, who is ultimately suffering? Who?
The child.
The child. Who said that? You get a car. And so the child is ultimately suffering. And so while my work is youth suicide prevention, the way I do it is by getting support for the most influential person in the youth's life. You see how the method to my madness? So if you are in an organization, you have an ERG or a BRG, I want you to make your office space safe. Watch the words you're saying. Watch the thoughts you're having. A lot of people say junk about queer. I know this because I did. About queer people and about trans people. Because the person sitting next to you in the next cubicle could be what? The parents of a queer kid. We're making a case for parents. And guess what? They will never bring their kid to work. Because your bathroom laws are not working out for their kid. Right? And your ERG is for queer people. So they're like, I'm not queer, so I'm not a member of the ERG. But do I need support? Heck yeah. Is my mental health in shambles? Yes. When your child is queer or trans, your mental health is, I know you from somewhere. So these are the books that I have. Go find them, read them, please. These are my future books about your Black trans child and Invited In. I made a case for Invited In my second TED Talk. It's titled Invited In, Coming Out versus Inviting In. We need to own our shit and stop coming out to people and let them create a safe enough space for you to invite them in.
Right.
Because it's your world. I cannot come out to one more person. Because I never heard anybody say, hey, I'm heterosexual, where are you? Never heard that. I'm not doing that. So I want to give all of y'all permission today to stop. All right? If they don't earn their invitations, don't give it to them. So because I'm a girl that likes to dream, and because once upon a time I was an 8-year-old girl who dreamed that I was going to be on Oprah. And when I told my dad I was interviewed by Oprah, to this day he hasn't asked me, what did she ask you? He said, you've been saying that since you were 8. So I dare to dream. So my next steps are either San Diego or Atlanta. So if you want me to move to San Diego, say aye. If you want me to move to Atlanta, say aye. So the Atlantas have it? Yes. Okay, well, I'm moving to Atlanta. No. It's official. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. For a long time, I've been running away from the work. I was going to move to San Diego and open Dr. Lulu's Cafe in La Jolla, close by UCSD campus, so I could have the kids come and do jam sessions and poetry and queer stuff. It was going to be an easy life. The weather is good, the water is cold, right? Then I went to Atlanta, Then I went to Atlanta for a mastermind about a month or 2 ago. And for the first time I went to Atlanta, not as a mom, not as a wife, not for a wedding, not for all the stuff, right? And I saw Atlanta. I saw Black people. And I've been running away from doing the work in the Black community. You see, you can never, ever not see me as Black. And homophobia and transphobia is rooted in the Black community. And so if I go to San Diego, there's 2% Black folks there. It's easy life. Or I can stay true to my advocacy, activist self and go and try to make a difference in a town where lots of Black people are. Rich ones too, gay ones too. All right? So, and you know who is over in Atlanta? My friend over there, you know who is in Atlanta that I'm going to be meeting, that's going to be doing my Tyler Perry. So I want all of y'all to say to the universe, I'm going to be Tyler Perry, and Tyler Perry is going to do my documentary, because we need to do a documentary on Black youth suicide. No one is done that. So y'all please tell the universe, please. Now?
Yes.
What is yes? The universe, Dr. Lulu is going to... Yes, all of that. So my next steps, and also CNN happens to be in Atlanta. So y'all are going to see me on CNN. It's a done deal. My 4th TED Talk is titled Making a Case for Supporting Parents of Queer Kids at the Workplace. Is that a long title? I mean, if you can shorten it, let me know. But I have ChatGPT, so it might work. And my dream is to have a TV show. I don't think we've ever had a TV show where we actually talk about what it's like to be a family of queer people, to raise queer people. It's just, no one is talking about it. I might as well. So that's how you activate all of your intersectional factors. Use them. Make money. Yeah? And so this.
So Carla, thank you so much for interviewing me for Spectrum News. I just wanted to know, how did y'all hear about me and how did I come into your focus?
We are just thrilled to have the opportunity to talk to you, Dr. Lulu. You know, I was doing some research about Black History Month and Women's History Month, and I just looked up prominent women in Texas, prominent women of color, and in one, there was a list that there was, you know, several names that came out, but your name was one of them, and it resonated with me because...
So this is a girl who was 8 years old, once upon a time, and had a dream. I'm going to go to America one day. I'm going to make it. And I dare you today, as you leave this space, I want you to own your story. I want you to own every facets of your story. The good ones, the bad ones, the not so good ones, they're all good. You know why? Because if it was going to happen differently, it would have happened differently. Right? So it happened the way it was supposed to happen. Once upon a time, I was an 8-year-old girl, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, in Nigeria. Who would have thought? And when I said I was going to leave medicine, all my friends took me to the side to ask me, are you okay? Why do you want to leave medicine? Like, you're a doctor. I was like, it's called giving yourself permission to do what? Permission to leave medicine. And like, why do you want to retire at 52? I said, because I can. I don't have to wait till I'm 85 to retire. I want to retire now. And I'm young, free, single, right? The point I'm making is I want everyone here to own every facet of your story. There's all kinds of forces coming for you. You have to look it in the eye and say, bring it. That's all I have for y'all. If you're a parent and you'd like to have my little PDF of 7 mistakes parents make when your kids tell you who they are, you're welcome to scan that QR code. I'll give you all 30 seconds to do it because I know Alexis is giving me the side eye over there. All right. I will take questions if y'all have any. Otherwise, any questions? Yes?
Do you only talk about parents of transgender, or do you like relate to all kids? Because right now I'm kind of scared in general as a whole.
I love that question. So the question is, do I mostly talk about just parents of trans kids, or do I talk about all kids? So the beautiful thing is, I was the queer kid. I was your child. I was the queer child who liked girls and liked boys. 58% of LGBT people are bisexual, that's me. But also today, I'm you, the parent of the child. So of course I talk about parenting all queer kids. So that's the answer to the question. However, I have a special space in my heart for Black trans kids, because that's my child. I mean, hello, right? Right? That's a good question. Any other questions? All right, no problem. Alexis. All right, well, that's it. Thanks, y'all.